Hello there gorgeous gamers and welcome back to Pure Play TV, and we've got another review for you. This time it's Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood, which is an absolute mouthful of a title, so from here on in I'll just say Werewolf when referring to the game. This review comes from our network site Pure PlayStation, and a review code was provided by the publisher. I have to admit that when I first booted up Werewolf, I was quite sure I was in for a crapshoot of a game. The opening did nothing to make me think otherwise. The opening cinematic was good, but once I was given control of Cahal, our hero, I was worried. The animations were stiff, and talking with his extended werewolf clan had me groaning hard. The characters looked like puppets with sticks jammed up their bums, and the lip syncing was worse than me trying to sing anything not by the Killers. But you know what? It's actually not a bad game. Okay, the voice acting is mostly rubbish, and Cahal has the personality of a soggy condom, but the actual gameplay isn't that bad. I'd even go as far to say that it's good, but flawed, definitely flawed. It has a certain charm to it that's hard to describe. It reminds me of games from the PS2, Xbox and GameCube era. It's something about the way the in-game cutscenes are done, the smooth camera movements, and the characters who seem to glide across the screen. It reminds me of a time when game developers were suddenly having to try their hand at cinematography and the results looked like a school project. It may seem crap, and come on, it kind of is, but for me, it's a comforting kind of crap, like a Happy Meal on a rainy Sunday. Now I realise I am being fairly harsh on the game, but it's called tough love. I'm not familiar with the board game RPG that the game is based on, so my knowledge of the lore and the characters is zero, and everything I know about the werewolf's world and mythology is coming directly from this game. I went in knowing nothing, and I've come out knowing just a little more than nothing. And that's not for a lack of trying, but the story is not exactly captivating stuff, and I really can't stand to listen to Cahal berate his people. The voice acting for the hero is genuinely awful. In fact, it's quite bad for everyone, but especially for Cahal. Early on in the game, his wife is killed by another werewolf, and all he can muster is a "No, please, no.
No, please, no."
And that is a really accurate representation, and he sounded like he dropped his pie on the floor rather than witnessing the mother of his child having her neck snapped like a twig. The story isn't much then, but it's something to keep the game moving forward. The werewolf people are at a war with Endercron, an evil corporation, and that's about as much as I care to remember. Each mission sees you sneaking into Endercron's facilities. The aim is to go stealth for as long as possible, taking out guards only when required. There are cameras to watch out for too, and 1,000 locked doors that are conveniently unlocked with nearby terminals, which also turn off cameras. Or you can upgrade your crossbow and take the cameras out from afar. Straying into a camera's red ray alerts the guards, and you'll be turning into your werewolf form. This is actually how the game plays out for the most part. You can try to stealth your way through a mission, but eventually you will be seen by a guard or a camera, and hell will break loose. Not that I minded all that much, because the game is best when it puts you in the Krynos form, as the werewolf. That's what Krynos is. Skulking around as Cahal the human is not nearly as fun as Cahal the werewolf, and I wish the game had done away with the stealth altogether and instead gone for the pure destruction route. But I can see the reasons for it. The stealth gives you a break from the simple combat, which boils down to mashing the light and heavy attack buttons and occasionally doing a special move to get out of a tight spot. It's not particularly deep, but it's fun, and at times it can be quite challenging. One aspect of the stealth that I did like was skulking around as Cahal's lupus form. That's just a wolf without the were. As a wolf, you're faster and harder to see, and you can sneak through many conveniently placed and conveniently sized vents to avoid detection. Running across wide open areas is still risky, but it always felt like a risk worth taking, and on those occasions where I did manage to dogpaw my way past a troop of corporate henchmen, I felt good about it and wanted nothing more than to scratch my little wolfie behind the ears and call him a good boy. I miss having a dog in my life. There is an RPG system inside the game, but it's quite unremarkable. You gain skill points that can be used to upgrade Cahal's abilities. My favourite thing about this isn't the new moves, but it's how you get these skill points. You get them through general play, but there's also, littered throughout the game, plants that Cahal can sniff, and they will fill up the point meter. It's like catnip for wolfmen, and I couldn't help but have a little laugh every time Cahal took a nice big sniff of a random plant. Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood isn't a bad game, but it's not a great game either. It's one of those middle-of-the-road deals where you have to go in with the understanding that you're going to be trudging through a bit of crap to get to the good stuff, and even then, the good stuff does get a bit samey after a while. I think with a bit more time and money thrown at the game, it could have been more. But, as it is, it's a B-tier game, and it makes no bones about it. And I respect the effort, and I enjoyed it. And that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Go down below, like, subscribe, bell icon, all that stuff. And don't forget the info box down below. That's where you can find our social media channels and our supporters page if you feel like supporting us. I've been Chris. I'm going to go and sniff some plants myself. And I'll see you on the next one. Until then, bye.